Markets have been in a free fall, and the question I get often is this time any different? Well, I'm going to give you some surprising answers in terms of what is and what isn't different this time around. Hi, I'm Mark Singer, and for up-to-date and timely information on these markets or any retirement information, feel free to click on the link below to subscribe to our channel and hit the notifications bell so you're alerted to when we post new videos. So I'm going to address this question about is this different this time and break it down into three different areas. First, an area that we're all dealing with, which is lifestyle. Second, we'll talk about the markets and whether or not it's different this time. And third, an interesting component of this is our age. And I'll get to that in just a moment. So let me start with lifestyle. Is this time different? Is this crisis, is this situation, this pandemic different than anything we've ever seen before? You bet you. I can just tell you from my own personal life. One of the interesting things I find, and I talk to friends about this, my sleep patterns are different. I'm not sleeping in the same way. I like to go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, not so much to be Hulk Hogan, but more for my mental stability and lowering the stress. That I'll probably miss the most. We're obviously having to stay inside. We're not going to restaurants, movies, being with friends. I don't get to pick up my granddaughter every Tuesday from school. And that I miss terribly. And all of the fear, anxiety, and heightened stress that we're feeling as a result of this pandemic, the answer is yes, this time is different from a lifestyle and the way we lead our lives on a daily basis. So let me go to the second question with regards to the stock market. Is this time different? So let's take a look at this. So as a reference, now I got into this business in 1987. So let's start there. My entrance into this business came with a splash. We saw Black Monday. The market went down 1,000 points, and that 1,000 was very different from the 1,000 we're seeing now because the market was at very low levels relative to what we see right now. So it started with 1987 and Black Monday. Then we had the 1990s and the oil embargo. And then we had the dot-com bubble in 2000, 2001, 2002. Then we had 9/11. And then after that, we had the Great Recession of 2008. And after that, some of you may recall the flash crash. And now we're dealing with the pandemic. Markets have seen numerous crises before. Have they seen the pandemic before? Absolutely not. But have they seen crises before that have caused markets to go into free fall or just a accelerated descent? The answer is absolutely. So at a level, this time really isn't that different because the markets have seen crises before and they pretty much understand what they're going to do during these crises as they progress. But that's not the real point that I want to make here. What I want to share with you is a chart of the S&P 500. And obviously you can't invest in the S&P 500, and certainly there's no guarantees for any future performance. But if you take a look at the long-term trend for the market and you see that each and every one of these points of crisis, the value of the S&P 500 has come down. But what happened after that? And more importantly, what has been the trend forever with the stock market? It's up. Now there are downs and then it comes back up a little bit, and then there are downs and then it comes up again, and it keeps repeating itself. But unless you feel that there is absolutely no faith in the market and the entire market system is going to collapse, and certainly in 2008 we did have that fear, we don't have that fear now. And even in 2008, at the end of that, we entered into the longest bull market in history. So the answer to the question with regards to the stock market Is it different this time? The answer is no. So on the final point, is this different? One of the interesting things that I, as a financial planner, have to deal with is the age of my client. Where along the timeline are they, right? What chapter of life are we in? And the reality is, we're 12 years older from the last point that we had a crisis, the Great Recession of 2008. So for many of the people that I'm talking to now, they weren't anywhere near, or they were sort of approaching, or maybe just into retirement, but now they're 12 years older. Now they are at the cusp of retiring or recently retired. And oh boy, what a difference that makes. So yes, is this time different for those of us who are now 12 years older and on the cusp or transitioning into retirement? You better believe it is. And it's not the market, it's what our needs and vulnerabilities are. It's what we want out of life in this next chapter, and how we feel the potential impact of the market will be on the ability for us to pursue our retirement goals. So yes, it is important to understand, and yes, it is different this time, that we are older than the last time this happened. So in summary, let's think about this for a moment, and what do we do about it? So first of all, yes, it is different. Our lifestyles are different. Our day-to-day is different. I sort of feel like I'm living in the movie Groundhog Day, where Bill Murray wakes up every day in looking for Punxsutawney Phil, but somehow, he learns something each time he revisits that same day over and over again. I feel like I'm living the same day over again and not necessarily learning anything new. So yes, it is different from a lifestyle perspective. Yes, it is different. We are older now, and the impact of all of this is impacting us in a different way than it did maybe 12 years ago. But the underlying impact in terms of the finances, the market, and how the market is reacting is not different. The key comes back to planning. And if you recognize and can sort of divorce the emotions from the economics, you'll recognize that yes, these markets will be coming back over the long term. We don't know what happens over a week, a month, a year, but give us 5 years, 10 years, we've got a pretty good sense of what will happen. So I beg of you, calm down. No panic needed. The markets will recover. Again, no guarantees for any future performance. We have to deal with the other stuff, but it is the planning that will drive you to the successful retirement that you're wishing to pursue. If you wish to learn more about the planning process and how to maximize retirement income in this next chapter of life, click on the link below to learn how to become our client and watch our masterclass. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, send this to a friend. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe, and I hope that you enjoy the retirement journey.